remember when you was this and you was that. That's how I feel every time she shares. It's just because you're going through it, like you actually are going through it. Right, so anybody on the live on Facebook, I don't even know who's on it. This is just a live session that I've decided to do for free, intuitively. And if you've logged in and you've seen this, then you are meant to see it, because I haven't sent any emails out. I haven't told anyone that I'm doing it. I'm just literally, I just press record and live. So if you're here, stick around, because this is a 5-week container. Tonight is session 1. And I'm going to tell you the mindset behind why I created this container. I won't be on the, what's it called? The chat box on that live. I'm on the chat box inside of my membership. So just so you know. Yeah, so this actually came up for me as quite a big deal, to be honest, why to do this, because it was something that was really, it was just really like, I don't know, it was like annoying me. Like that was the energy of it. I was like, this is actually annoying me that I'm feeling into this. So I'd done it as 4 weeks and then I needed an extra week. So that's why it's a 5-week container. If you're on the live and you want to do the other 4 weeks, then you just need to sign up, and I'll tell you at the end how to do that. But for now, forget about signing up, just trust that you're meant to be here and you'll get whatever you need from this. So I have got a PowerPoint, a really good PowerPoint that I want to go through with everyone, and obviously if you're in the membership, is this recording now? Yeah, if you're in my membership, you're going to be able to see me PowerPoint. And I want you all making notes, like it's so important. If you're on the live, you're not going to see anything but me, and just be making notes as well, because yeah, there's so much that I want to go through. But firstly, right, I want to tell you why I created this. So I was in my garden, right, with my brother, and I know this couple in Liverpool. I know that loads of you in my membership will know who they are. I'm not saying any names. Anyway, I know them because I worked with the man. I done some Kundalini yoga with him at Planet Yoga. And I kind of knew his girlfriend, but I didn't really know her. But I knew that they was both going all in with their spiritual business, and they were setting something up that was just dead exciting. Like every time I spoke to him, I was like, oh, I'm so excited for you. And when I used to follow people on Instagram, I was following their journey and I was feeling into them, and I just thought, oh, this is amazing, this. And I don't know, like I just seen them as like this little power couple who was just like, I just wanted them to smash it, really. And I really liked the man. I liked what he was about. I liked his character. I liked his message. He's just dead real, dead authentic. And I was having this conversation with my brother, and he was supposed to be doing something with the man, like a little collab thing, because my brother does all this. And he was like, oh, he's had to cancel. He's just pulled out on me, so I'm doing it on my own now. And I was like, oh, why is he cancelled? And he was like, oh, he's split up with his girlfriend. And I was like, why? I was like, oh my God, are you joking? I was like, why have they split up? And he said, just because like they started this new business together, and they've just been proper struggling, like they've just not been making money from it. And it's really put pressure on their relationship, and it's caused like them basically to, yeah, like it's come to an end. And then the conversation went deeper, and he was telling me about things that had happened, like things that she was doing, and something that she put on and only 3 people came, and blah blah blah. And it just opened my mindset up. This, I'm telling you this because this was the start of me creating this 5 weeks for you. And I just really started feeling into how many people I know and I see, and I've got clients and I've got you girls in the membership who do this kind of work where you're trying to, I need to like move that candle before I set that on fire. Oh my Jesus Christ. Yeah, where you're doing this work from a place of following what you believe that you're sent here to do, and you're using your gifts and you're really tapping into who you are, and then the money blocks you because you've got kids to feed, you've got a house to pay for, you've got to put petrol in your car, you've got bills to pay. So it's all well and good being like, oh, just be spiritual and put things out there, but without the inner work, and I won't stop saying it, I can't, and I get people arguing with me. I don't, because I don't argue, but I've had coaches in the past who were strategy coaches, and they're like, I just disagree with what you're saying. I'm like, I disagree with what you're saying. It's the inner work. So when he started telling me about these two, and I just started, so they're doing all of the spiritual work and all of the stuff, and by the stuff, I mean like all the whatever, like the light language, the Reiki, all of the stuff. I'm just going to call it stuff, whatever you're into. But they're not doing the inner work. And they haven't done the inner work. And everyone that I'm speaking to, it's the same story playing out. So they're putting things out there. They've got these amazing creations. They've got these courses. The divine is giving them everything. And then energetically, they're blocking themselves, they're holding themselves back, and it's to do with your self-worth, it's to do with your identity. There's so much more to manifestation, and this, what I've created tonight, right, this session, it's a little bit sciencey, it's a little bit woo-woo, I go there. So then what happened is, right, I get off track, don't I? Then what happened is, I started sitting with it, and I was like, okay, well, what makes me different? Because I've got a spiritual business. I don't have a strategy. I'm just sharing my gifts and putting myself up there. But why aren't I struggling? I never have from week one financially. Like when I walked away from my salon and my training academy and everything, as soon as I started up offering my services, the money was just there. It was just there. It was just there. But why? Because I'd done the inner work. I'd worked with the subconscious programming. Everything that I teach you tonight. So I know how money works. I know how the inner game works. And it doesn't matter what business I create from. I know the energetics of it. I know the identity. I know how it works. So I started feeling into that, and I was like, fuck, that actually is it. It doesn't matter how amazing you are, how good you are at Reiki, how amazing you are stood on a stage with a microphone and you're a motivational speaker or you hold space for women. None of it actually matters, because you can be incredible at it. But if you don't believe in yourself, if your nervous system goes to shit at every opportunity, if you're literally blocking yourself from the abundance, from it coming in because of fear, this is all underlying energy, like the subconscious, going on in your subconscious program, which again, that's where I'm going tonight with your subconscious. You will consistently block yourself from opportunities, from success, from money, from everything. Like it's called the upper limit. You'll never allow yourself to go past the ceiling that you've put on yourself. You cap yourself energetically. And that's what I believe has happened with these two. So I really felt into it. So then what I started doing is I went back to 2020 when I was living in I went through what I went through. I had nowhere to live, blah, blah. Then I moved back to my mum's house. And I was like, what did I do then? What did I do? Because I didn't just say I'm starting a business and it took off for me. What was I doing? So I went back and I got me journals and I started reading through stuff and I started going back into the work that I was doing, and I was blowing my own mind. Ask me brother. I was reading stuff to my brother and I was like, look what I've written there. When I was in that place, like there's so much that I've written, actually I can't even say one thing. I was writing things as if I was this version of me now, but it was back then, different identity. But I was able to allow myself to merge into her identity. And then I was just aligning from that place. So it was like I continuously stepped out of reality every single day. I wasn't allowing my reality to tell me who I was. So now that's what I need to teach all of you. Especially if you're somebody, do you know what? It's not even about if you're building a business or you want to build a business. It's for anyone who's just unhappy in your life and you know there's more. There's more than this. This isn't it. You feel limited. You feel blocked. You feel like a lot of you tell, wow, the sky is so nice. A lot of you tell the story that you're stuck. And actually, I don't believe, when I start talking to you, and it's hard because there's so many of you in my membership and there's so many of you who are in my DMs and stuff. So it's easier for me with a one-to-one client who says I'm stuck, because then we just go there, like we go in and it's intense sessions between us. But when I do have conversations with you, I always feel like she's not stuck. She's creating this herself. She's blocking herself. She's holding herself back. She's standing in her own way. The fear that she's creating doesn't even exist. So that's what tonight's session is about for me. Oh, I'm on a juice cleanse, by the way. But I did have a coffee this morning. I forgot that I was on a juice cleanse and I had the coffee and I was like, fuck. But I am starving as well, to be honest. But yeah, so tonight's session, I'm gonna go into where it started for me, and I'm gonna really allow, it's a little bit sciencey, you know, like it actually is, but I'm really gonna allow to open up your mind to knowing there's actually more than just, okay, I'm going to manifest and I'm just going to write my goals down and I'm just going to make a vision board and I'm just going to trust and I'm just going to have faith. There's a lot more to it. And this is what I created this membership for, because I never just done one course, one mentor, one coach, one book, one podcast, one this, one that. No, I became obsessed with the inner work. I became obsessed with it every day. I didn't want to do anything else. And something that I also sat with was, I can't believe how nice the sky looks, you know. Something that I also sat with was the last year, right? And it's fine. I'm not coming from at this from a place of like beating myself up. But I was asked the last year to go on a healing journey and step back from, that was it. Like, step back from all of the personal development work, and I became obsessed with me healing. And as you know, I've started, like, my business is very different now in terms of what I do. So it's what I'm trying to say is, I believe it all happened the way that it was supposed to. However, my business has stayed at 6 figures. And I haven't really gone over. Every month is consistently the same. And that isn't it. And something that I knew to be true when I had my training academy is I would give myself 6 months of having the same income. So say 6 months of consistent 10k months. And I'm like, right, I've capped myself here. That's what you've done. You've hit your money ceiling. So it's time to expand. We're not here to just earn the same amount of money. So the last year I went back through my books and my journals and stuff, and I log everything in terms of numbers. I'm really big on logging my numbers. And I realised that I've been at a standstill with money and my business have not expanded. And it's because I've not actually been doing the level of inner work that I've always done in terms of money. Like, I've not invested into a money mindset coach for a year. And that isn't like me. I always work with money mindset. I'm always in memberships like mine. I'm always doing the personal development work. And I haven't been because I've been on this like really intense healing journey, which is fine. But I'm like, I'm not here to stay where I am. I'm not here to be spiritual and broke. I don't believe in that story. Like, I'm here to keep expanding, and there's always more, and we're infinite. There's infinite possibilities. Infinite money. We're infinite beings. Like, we limit ourselves. It's like, why can't my old coach, right? I was in a container with her and I paid 16 grand to be in this container. it was a 12-week container, and there was about 50 of us in it. So like, I'm not good at maths, but how much has she made there from each person? She does the same work as me. She's just the coach who teaches all of this, but she's just on a different frequency. But how can I limit myself at whatever, say like 10k months, and her months are like 100,000? Do you know what I mean? So I just refuse to play into these limits and these beliefs, and just not allowing ourselves to really do what we came here to do. And this 5 weeks for me, girls, is about, I want all of you to feel into the energy of, this is just a game. This is just the game of life, and I'm going to play it. And right now, yous are playing it wrong. Yous are playing by the wrong rules. Yous aren't playing the game properly. So this is what I want to teach you these next 5 weeks. So let me share my screen. Everybody needs, I can't express this enough, you need a notepad and you need a pen, because you need to be writing shit down. There's actually a lot that you're going to want to write down. In fact, girls in my membership, you might want to go back to this recording. Is it recording? Yeah. Oh my God. You might want to go back to this recording and go back over the slides and write the slides out, because there's actually so much information. Right, so let me share my screen. There's going to be an opportunity at the end. What? One sec. Terrible with I'm actually terrible with yeah, 16k each. Will you work it out for me? I think there was 52 of us in there. She's a multi-millionaire. Her name's Kathleen Cameron. Go on Instagram. She's sick, you know. She actually is. Leanne, I sent you some of her videos. Right, hang on. I can't. I don't know what I'm doing. $800k, there we go. So I've got my 8-week container now, which was a 10k launch. So she's on 800k and I'm on 10k, and I say, well, that's my limit. And she's like, how? Do you know what I mean? Like, how? It's just right. I need to. Can somebody tell me, please, if you can see my screen? Will somebody write it in the chat box for me, pretty please? Because I need you to be able to see my screen. So the title is, what if I told you this life is a game? Because it is, honey. Will somebody tell me? It's behind me head. Why is it behind me head? Can you see it though? I'm in front of it. No, wait. I don't understand. Right, let me stop it. Right. This is why I don't get paid. This is why I don't get paid 800k, because she don't do stuff like that. She knows how to do everything. I don't know how to do anything. Right, allow yourself to share your screen. Yes. Right. Share all windows. Yes. Right, what about now? Oh shit. Oh no. What about now, please? Just help me out here. Can you see me now? I mean, can you see the screen now? I don't want you to see me. I don't want to be in front of it. That's weird. Oh shit. Yeah, it's worked. We can see you both, right? Amazing. Thank the Lord. Right, I am going to crack on with this, girls, right? Because once I start with this, I'm going to get in a proper flow. And at the end, any questions, or if your head's gone, we'll unpack it if you've got time. I've got time. I've got all night. You probably will be here a while, to be honest. So yeah, at the end, please ask any questions or write it in the chat box. Oh no, please ask me at the end so I don't get confused. Right. I don't know if there's any comments on that, but if there is, I haven't seen them, sorry. Right, what if I told you this life is a game? So I sat, can I just tell you something dead quick, sorry. I sat in my garden after me brother left and I started getting my journals out because, like I say, right, it was just playing on my mind. I was like, how can them two who had this amazing idea, and I just thought it was like, how can they be broke off something amazing? Do you get me? That's what I was feeling into. And then I was like, because it doesn't matter how amazing you are. If you don't do the inner work, what's behind whatever it is that you're creating? So, what if I told you this life is a game and you've been playing by the wrong rules? Because every game has rules. It has a map and hidden cheat codes. But most people don't even realise that they're players. They work on automatic, letting their past and their triggers predict their future. Until now. So, welcome to a 5-week personal development journey, which, honestly, girls, has the potential to change your fucking life. And yeah, for you watching the live, I did write fucking. After going through this process, you will be operating from a different dimension of reality. That's a belief that I have when I've sat and created this 5 weeks. That was the intention that came up for me. So not only will you have a new level, but playing an entirely different game. That's what I want for each and every one of you, like playing a different game. So when you learn this, what I'm going to teach you, even throughout tonight's session, so say if you're on this and you're not even going to do the 5 weeks, even what I teach you from tonight, it's going to open your mind up to something bigger than you and really allowing you to see where you actually are limiting yourself. And then you can't unsee it. That's the point with this work, like you can't unsee it. So, you're about to take a quantum leap into a new reality. If you apply what I teach you over these next 5 weeks together, every week is set out so it's a continuation from the last week. So never try and do week 3 if you've not done week 1 and 2. Do you understand what I mean? The way that I've formulated it, it all comes on to one another. So just really bear that in mind. Make sure that you're doing everything's recorded. You've got access to your own portal. Just go in your portal, right? Week 1, week 2, week 3. You know what I mean? Catch up like that. You don't actually have to come the lives. It won't make any difference to your experience, if I'm honest, unless you wanted to ask questions and interact. But I have created it so it's like a self-study for you. So I've learned a lot along my journey this far, and we're about to dive into it all. I'm not going to gatekeep over these 5 weeks. So what I'm going to share with you has not only changed my life, but the lives of others as well. Like when I have, like for all you girls in my membership, for all my one-to-ones, like women that I work with, I just teach what I've already done. That's what I do. So I've helped people that I work with break through and make those quantum leaps for themselves. I actually shared some stories today on my Instagram, which I never do. And I'm like, Catherine, you really need to start doing that. Where I shared with you messages that I get inside of the group chat. Where girls are like implementing the work and it's just making a difference to their lives. Yeah, so what I teach you will not resonate with every single one of you, and it won't, and that's okay. But I'm about to tell you exactly who this is for, and if it's not for you, If you don't fit any of these, then it's just not for you. You're not at that place with this level of work. So if you're someone who knows deep down that you're meant for more success, like you want more success, more abundance, more freedom, but you keep hitting these invisible blocks, but there's got to be, listen to me now, there's got to be a feeling of I want more. Because you know what some women do? Do you know what some women do? They won't allow themselves to want more. They won't own what they want. So they're like, oh, I'll just stay at a 3k a month. Fuck that. Do you know what I mean? Like we just worked out then. My mentor earned 800k off a 12-week program. I'm not settling at 3k a month. So you've got to really tap into, throughout these 5 weeks, you've got to really tap into that part of yourself of, I actually believe I'm here for more. I believe that I'm the first woman in my bloodline to change everything, to go all in, to rewrite the story. The one who gets to do what she wants, the one who earns the money that she wants. Like, stop falling into the patterns and the cycles and just following your lineage. You're not here for that. So I want you to really feel into that feeling that you're meant for more. And you've got to own it. You've got to have the audacity to just own that part of you, because that shit changed my life. Like, I remember like living at my mum's, and my mum lives in a little council house, and she's always had minimum wage jobs. And there's nothing at all wrong with this. It's not about right, wrong, all of the other. But listen to the feeling that I got because bearing in mind, right, my mum left when I was a kid, and I didn't live with her until I was 29 years of age. Mad. Didn't even know her. It's like living with a stranger. I didn't know her. So I moved in with her, right, because we were homeless. And I remember just observing her life, and like, she drives like this little Escort that my granddad gave to her, right? And she's never got money. She's always struggling. Like, money comes with so much fear. Oh my God, the fear. Even talking about money, you can see fear. And she lives in this little council house where she's always lived, right? She lived there years and years and years and never done anything with it. It's just the same. And she's always had like minimum wage jobs, and she's always struggled, and she's always gone from man to man. Like, I think her longest relationship is like 2 years, and she's always getting different relationships. She'll be single a few months and then on to the next. So she's always like that. And I just remember, and I had no right thinking this, because back then when I lived with her, I had nothing. I didn't have money. I didn't have goals. I didn't have ambition. I had nothing. But I remember this feeling within me of being like, this is my worst nightmare. I don't want that life. I just don't feel it's for me. I don't feel I'm supposed to be in a 9 to 5. I don't feel I'm supposed to drive cars that I'm not in love with. I don't feel that I'm supposed to struggle with money. And I remember this feeling within me never leaving me. But I didn't have any evidence in the 3D world to be like, yeah, Catherine, because you're going to be abundant and you're going to be this and you're going to be that and you're going to buy your dream home and you're going to drive nice cars. Didn't have that. Nothing was telling me that. I didn't even have a job. I wasn't even working. I was signing on. I was like on like, what's it called? Not the Dole, but it used to be called the Dole. I was on that. I didn't have any right thinking I'm going to be abundant. I knew it. I knew that I'm the one in my bloodline that isn't going to stay on benefits. Like my sister is like 37, 38 on benefits, and in my mind I'm just like, I just don't feel that I'm the same as my bloodline. Not from a place of judgment or I'm this or I'm that. It's not that. It's from a place of something was planted in me that's supposed to break this. That's supposed to rewrite it. And I often think of my son and my nieces, and then I think of, what about my grandchildren? But what about my great grandchildren? Like, it's not about you. And we think it is. We think it's just about you and what you're doing. It's not. What impact are you having? But what legacy are you leaving? And what are you teaching your kids? Because what was you taught about money growing up? I know what I was taught. I feel like we all was. It's very limited. We all live a very limited life. And I believe that if you're here and you're watching this and you've signed up to this 5-week experience, you've got that feeling that I had. You've got a feeling within you that you're like, I think I'm the one. I think I am the one, the cycle breaker, the one to end this lack. It's generational wealth. That's what you're creating. That's what I believe every one of us doing this inner work is creating. So I want you to really tap into that energy throughout this 5-week process, because once I began to really feel into that, it became a driving force for me when I started earning money. And I started seeing money for what it was, and I stopped being scared of it, and I started playing the game. And that's what I want for all of you. So, can you hear the dog? How annoying. So, this is also for the woman who, you've read the books, you've done all of the affirmations, you've done all of the reading and the writing and the scripting and the new moon ceremonies and the full moon ceremonies, invested in the coaches, whatever. You've tried all of the manifestation methods, you've got your vision board, you've got your goal list, you've got everything, but nothing's shifting, nothing's changing, nothing's working. This 5 weeks is for you. The woman who has achieved some level of success, but you know that there's a gap between where you are and where you could be. Again, tapping into that feeling, the infinite abundant feeling of there's more. There's more. The woman who is tired of repeating, Kobe. Is that annoying for everyone? Let me check the chat. Right, if that gets annoying, the dog on the door, tell me, because I'll have to go out and let him in. I don't want to let him in. I'm going to have to, though, if he carries on. Right, you're tired of repeating the same patterns, whether it's financial struggles, relationship challenges, or self-doubt. And like what I just said, you're ready to rewrite the entire story. You crave freedom. That's a big one for me. When I work with women, I need a woman who wants to be free. I love that I can work with you all day. I love that feeling. The one who wants to be free. She doesn't want to be like everyone else. She doesn't want to follow them and do what they're doing and do that and do that. I don't believe it's it. Like the feeling of freedom when you're an entrepreneur and you create a life that is in alignment with you, with your vision, with how you think, with how you feel, with what you want, instead of doing what she says and she says and she says. Freedom like no other. And I believe we're all deserving of it, and we can all create it. So not just financial and emotional freedom, but you're seeking the feeling of freedom where you wake up every day excited, aligned and unstoppable. So with unstoppable, I believe that I live in that, because I'm like, I never cap myself. I never stay where I'm at. I believe that I'm unstoppable. I do. And I live by that mindset. I don't like the feeling of this is it. I don't like comfort zones. I'm not good in them. I'm not one for a comfort zone. I like taking risks. I like going all in. I love the feeling of fear. For me, in my business, it's actually me driving force when I feel in fear, because I know that I'm expanding. Where when I'm comfortable, everything's just staying the same in my life, and I just don't believe, I don't believe that's what I'm here for. So it's for the woman who you already believe in manifestation, but you're ready to take it next level instead of playing it safe. So if all of them are you, then you're in the right place. If I've just read out all of them and you're feeling that doesn't align, 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 it's not for you. You're not going to get anything out of these next 5 weeks. Because I'm asking you to really tap into a part of you that you don't allow yourself to tap into. Like, you block yourself. It's a feeling of, do you know what comes up for me a lot with you girls? It's the self-worth piece. A lot of you don't own what you want because you don't feel worthy of what you want. And it's like, who am I to want that? Who am I to go all in? Oh, I'm happy with me little 3k months. I don't want you to be learning from me and in my work feeling that it's okay to stay there. I want to make you feel uncomfortable as fuck for feeling that way about yourself, because I'm not into it. I'm not into girls who think that way. It's not your truth. You're operating from a wound. You're not happy where you are. You know that there's so much more for you, but you just need to tap into it. So I spent hours and hours putting this together, going down memory lane on my own work back from 2020, and it was a mad time. That I sat there. I've been in the garden. You can see like all my freckles have come out. I just noticed on the camera. I've been in the garden all week because it's been fit, hasn't it, the weather? And I've just been reading and writing and reading and writing, and I went back to me like 6 years ago now, and I went back to me and I was like, wow, I really did go all in with the work, and I became unstoppable. I didn't let anyone tell me anything. Like, I lived very delusional. When I read back things, I'm like, wow, Catherine, you had no right. You had no right in writing that down, because you was nothing. You didn't even have money. So yeah, that's I'm bringing it all together for us in these 5 weeks. So now I need your best effort. This is you giving it all you've got, and watch how much can change. If you half-arse this and you do these sessions and you're there now scrolling on your phone and you're not really arsed, and you're like, I do these sessions but I can't really be arsed, but at least I'm showing up and at least I can say that I'm on a personal development journey. No. The quality of your life is determined by the quality of your energy. I swear by that. I say it to everyone. So it's not the quantity. You could work with 5 coaches, you could be in 5 memberships, you could read that book, listen to that podcast, and what does it all mean? Where's the quality of it? Where's the presence? Where's the intention? Where are you really allowing yourself to be like, right, do you know what? I'm really going to focus and take this in. I'm really going to take this very serious. I'm going to treat this like, my thing is, right, because money is just energy exchange. My thing is treating these sessions and doing this work like you've just paid thousands of pounds to be here. How serious would you take it? Like, look at me working with Kathleen Cameron, paying 16 grand. How serious do you think I took those sessions? Knowing how much money I invested into working with her. I wasn't scrolling on TikTok. I wasn't missing sessions. I wasn't half-arsing it. I was all in, and that's why I'm able to consistently keep moving the level in the video game. Because whatever I'm doing, I give it my all, and that is something that I really, really love about myself. I don't half-arse anything. Sometimes it can be a bit of a wound, and it can be, so like for instance in relationships and stuff, it can bite me in the ass, but it's got me to where I am in my life, because I really am all or nothing. I'm like, if I'm not interested and I'm not going to give it me all, I'm just not going to do it then. With personal development, I'm on about. Whereas with these sessions, you really need to tap into that part of yourself where you're locked in. So the phone's off. You're not scrolling, you're not doing other things. Like, you've got, right now, you should be sat there with your pen and your paper and just writing stuff down. Like, take it serious and watch how different you feel at the end of these 5 weeks. You're going to feel different at the end of this session. I know it. I read through this session, I was like, wow, this is crazy. And I've just created it from things that I've written down 6 years ago. So, take everything in with an open mind. I'm convinced that each call will be the shift that gets you out of stagnation and propels you into your dream life. This is the new timeline. And then I've written there, the dream doesn't work unless you do. So I remember hearing that. I don't even know who it is. Is it Jim Rohn? I don't know, but I remember hearing that at the start of my journey, because that was written down in my journal, and I remember thinking like, wow, I love that. The dream doesn't work unless you do. Like, I actually love it, because with dreams, they stay dreams, and we can get excited and we can fantasize and we can visualize and we can get like, oh, this is the vision, but that's all it will ever be. It will always be a vision, it will always be a dream, it will always be I wish, I want, if I could have. It will always stay there in that frequency, because you're not doing the work. You're not showing up. You're not being the version of you who already has that life. That's the power of personal development. So, for the next 60 minutes, even though we're already 50 minutes in, I'll finish for 9:30, I promise. For the next however long, I challenge all of you to set an intention right now in this moment. Set an intention of what you want for these next 5 weeks. So I've been talking now for like 50 minutes. I've been planting little seeds here and there. What's coming up for you? What do you want from these next 5 weeks? Give your full attention. Take your notes. And stay until the end, which you always do, but some people log off sometimes. And that's when we'll go through questions, anything that comes up for you. But girls inside of my membership, we've also got the group chat. So within this 5-week container, I want you to be using the group chat to be like, right, this has happened, that's happened, I'm stuck here. And we'll all coach each other. Like, that's the point in having a community. So let's get started. Remember, make your notes. I'm so sorry, but I'm not actually going to read any comments on the live, because I'm focusing on the membership. If you have got questions or you need any extra help or anything's coming up for you, join the membership, because that's what it's for, and we can go deeper and you can, yeah. So, manifestation is not, and some people don't understand this, manifestation is not creating your reality. You're not creating a physical reality, because reality doesn't exist in the physical world. Do you understand that? Reality exists in your mind. That's where your reality exists. So, it's experiencing the reality that your brain is wired for. Your brain is constantly filtering, predicting and shaping your experience based on your subconscious wiring. So you're always manifesting. It's who we are. We're manifesting beings. Like, it's actually who we are. Good or bad, whatever you deem as good or bad, you're always manifesting. Your life is a manifestation of who you are, your own thoughts, your own beliefs. So this is based on the way that your brain is wired. So the question is, are you manifesting what you actually want? So just sit with that now in this moment. As I've just said that, are you actually manifesting what you want? And don't just think about money, because this 5 weeks isn't just about money. I'm not here just to teach about money. Think about your relationship. Think about your connection to your children. Think about your relationship with your parents. Think about who you are when you do your food shop, when you put petrol in your car, when someone bumps into you in the Asda. Think about how patient you are when you're driving. Think about everything. Is this life that you've manifested what you actually want? Do you feel free? Because you don't get what you want in life, you get what you are. So, the key to manifesting what you want. Can you hear me son in the background, for God's sake? Your brain and nervous system act as the interface between you and your reality. So what you perceive, expect and experience is dictated by how your brain is wired. So it just makes so much sense, doesn't it? If you don't rewire your subconscious and your nervous system, then you'll stay trapped in that outdated old version of yourself. You'll never move. You can't. Because your brain is wired to stay there. So reprogram your brain and reprogram your reality. That is how it works. That's why I say it's the inner work. So what's keeping you from manifesting what it is that you actually want? Girls in my membership, if you're making notes, and I'm going too fast with the slides, I knew that would happen because I need to keep it going in flow. But like I say, you've got the recording, so you can always go back and mess with the slides, you know what I mean? So I'm going to give you some problems now that I believe is blocking you from manifesting the life, the timeline, the reality that you want. So your brain filters reality through past programming. You're only experiencing a fraction of what's possible for you. So it's true that we don't have access to the full power of our brains because our brain can only process a tiny percent of reality at any given time. So the human body sends 11 million bits per second to the brain for processing, but the conscious mind is taught to only process 50 bits. So the rest is just all filtered out. So this is why you don't experience reality, you experience your brain's version of it. And this version depends on your subconscious programming. So problem 2 is your beliefs. It's what you believe to be true. So your beliefs alongside your subconscious programming is what shapes your reality. That's your blocking manifestation. And problem 3 is the problem 4. Oh my God, how many problems is there? Oh, there's problem 4, yeah. Your nervous system rejects anything that feels unfamiliar. So even if you want success, right, because you want it, don't you? Everyone wants it. I want to be successful. Your body will resist it because your nervous system can't hold it. So the brain and the nervous system prefer predictability over possibility. So it prefers what's familiar, what feels safe, over the unknown, over fear, over risk taking. So the brain is wired for survival, not to perceive everything that exists that's possible for you. So it filters out what's actually necessary. This is about keeping you safe. What's necessary to keep you safe, to keep you where you are. Which obviously filters out possibilities in favour of predictability and safety. So that's all the brain is designed to do, to keep you safe. But as we know, safety isn't where we belong. So it's like, just for an example, let's just use the gym. Your brain will tell you when you come in from work, oh, get on the couch. Get on the couch and put that new series on Netflix and order a pizza because you can't bother cooking. And it's Friday night. It's Friday night, live your life, order the pizza, have a nice glass of wine, light your candle, watch the Netflix, and just pretend like you didn't book on that fitness class and that you're not doing that weight loss journey that you signed up to last week, and all the healthy food that you said that you was going to eat, and you went on the healthy food shop and you've got all that beautiful, healthy, nutritious food in the fridge, and you shouldn't really have bought that bottle of wine from the shop, but it's in the cupboard now, so fuck it. Well, let's just do that because that's what feels good. We like that. That feels nice. That feels comfortable. So your brain wants that for you. And this is where your program comes in. The identity. What's the identity of the woman who is fit, who is healthy, who is on her health journey? What's the identity of her? Does she do that shit? She won't find me doing that. Or does she stay on plan with a nutrition? Does she not even look at the alcohol in the house? Does she get the gym class done because she's booked on it and she's committed to her health and her fitness and her journey, and she's unhappy in the body that she's in, so she needs to make changes? So this is where your program comes in, the new program, what you're now doing. You're reprogramming. The conscious mind needs to come in and catch the subconscious in it in real time and be like, no, we're not watching that Netflix series. We'll go in the gym. And you have to force yourself. This is how you have to speak to yourself. You have to force yourself. No, We're not going to do that. We're not ordering the pizza. That's not us anymore. That's our old life. It's the old identity. Because let me tell you something that I know to be true, because I see it a lot, and I'm just thinking of family members right now. If you keep doing what you've always done, you'll always get the results that you've always got. Your life will never change. You'll still live in that house. You'll still drive that car. You'll still be crying over money. You'll still dread every time that the tax bill's due or the money's coming out of your bank or you need to pay the lecky bill. You'll live in that life because you're not making changes. So the version of you who's up-leveled, who's living a life of fulfillment, what does she do? How does she think? How does she feel? When she does a food shop, does she buy all that processed shit? Does she buy all the junk food? Does she buy the alcohol? Does she sign up to gym classes and then just not show up because she can't be asked? She doesn't. She doesn't do that. And let me tell you, at first, it does feel like a struggle. And look at me. Like, look at me. I started feeling into, like, when I lived at my mum's house, I was like, I'd wake up in the morning, I'd pour myself a glass of gin. Like, I'd do it, I've told this story before, but I'd do it in, like, the water bottles, so it looked like it was just, I was just going to the gym having water. I'd get up, like, just before Keegan was due to go to school and roll out of bed. Didn't have no morning routine, didn't pray, didn't meditate, didn't journal, didn't do nothing. How did I go from that version of me to then reading a book by Robin Sharma called The 5 a.m. Millionaire Mindset and decided, I want to be a millionaire. That's what I decided. I've written that down in my journal. Who is Millionaire Catherine? That's what I've written. I was like, she gets up at 5 a.m. She gets cold showers. She reads books. She listens to podcasts. She goes out on runs. She goes to the gym. She works out. She's healthy. She doesn't eat shit. She doesn't surround herself with those people. She's not in that type of relationship with men like that. And I started feeling into all of these ways of being that I was and who I needed to be. And it was a real process of really reprogramming myself and catching myself in it. So when I would reach for the alcohol, and at the time I had an eating disorder as well, and that's how I healed that, because it was like, the version of me who lives this life, she doesn't have an eating disorder. She doesn't eat those types of food. She doesn't surround herself with those types of people. Do you understand what I'm saying? And listen, at the start it's difficult and it's a challenge, and you've really got to argue with yourself. You have, and then it gets easier, and then it's easier, and then 6 years later it's just your life. It's who you are, because you stay on the journey and you're consistent, and you refuse to live any other life than the one that you believe is meant for you. You refuse it. You don't settle in it. You don't. I didn't. I couldn't. I wouldn't. I never will. You'll never find me settling. That's what this work done for me. And I consistently rewired my brain to believing that this is my reality until it was. But my nervous system had to feel safe in that. My programming had to be completely, like, done a 360. So, your soul is infinite, but your nervous system has a set cap on how much goodness it will allow. This is known as the upper limit problem. We all have it. So every stage, that like what I was saying before, I've hit my upper limit in my business. I've been on around 11, 12k months for about a year now, consistently, and I'm like, no, this isn't it. I'm ready to go to 20, then I want 50, then I keep wanting, so I'm hitting my upper limit. So what does that mean then? That I have to do the work. I have to then go back into the program. Okay, why doesn't my nervous system feel safe with 50k months? Why am I stuck at this number? So it's the video game. Every single level requires new work, new work, new work. And that's why when you're really on a personal development journey, it's the same with the healing journey. You're on it for life. You're in it for the long game. You don't tap out. You don't give up just because you're not getting your numbers or people aren't signing up. You're teaching yourself this is safe. So, problem 4, the state of your nervous system determines the energy that's flowing through you. But what if you could rewire your mind to break free from all of these limitations and consciously create your own reality? What if you could regulate your nervous system so that it no longer rejects the success that you desire? What if you knew the neuroscience behind what the subconscious mind actually is, so that you can reprogram it with real tools? This next 5 weeks that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be going into everything, especially the tools, the rituals, the mindset, all of it. So let's just talk about tonight's session, your subconscious mind. So your subconscious mind isn't some vague mystical concept. Like, everyone's like, the subconscious mind, the subconscious. The amount of women that are like, what even is the subconscious mind? And it's not just one thing, it's multiple systems that work together. So these are the main ones that are going to make sense to you. So this is where it can get a bit sciencey. So I've picked out the main ones that you're going to be like, yeah, I get that, that makes sense. These are the only ones that I've ever worked with. So the other ones I can't really teach because I've never worked with those parts. Like I say, it's a bit sciencey. So the default mode network. So this is your brain's autopilot system. This is active when you're not consciously engaged. So it's responsible for your internal narrative. So think about your ego. This part of your program predicts the future based on your past experience. And this is why we're in them loops. We're in the loops where it's just the same shit. We're just in it. So basically, this is the non-player character of your brain. So to quiet the ego, to shift your identity, and to surpass your limit, your upper limit problem, this is where you quiet the default mode network. Like, this is about you catching yourself in it. Awareness is everything. So when you know that you're going into the non-player character where you're just living on autopilot, you're just doing the same shit. Like, when you're in a loop, when you're in a cycle, this is where you need to interrupt the pattern. So that's that part of the subconscious program. Oh shit. Right, so then the reward system. So your dopamine system is highly subconscious. So think of your motivation, think of your habits, think of your subconscious desires, think of your relationships. So your goal-directed behaviour to stimulus response is how your habits will form. So when you have a goal, it's this, like, look, that with the gym, let's just use the gym. Everyone's like, it's just easy, isn't it? So when you set a goal that you want that weight, that body, whatever it is, that way of looking, you know what you need to do. It's fucking simple what you need to do. It's so simple. And this is how you will then be able to create new habits, because you'll have that goal in mind. So you're going on holiday in 12 weeks. You want to fit into that bikini. This is the goal. So the goal then creates the new habits. And this is tied to addiction studies. So how behaviours become hardwired into the subconscious mind. So to rewire this part of your subconscious, you need to hack your reward system so that your dopamine works for you, not against it. And I talk about it all the time in the membership, girls. This is about your habits and what you're doing for dopamine. So that vape that you're vaping on now, the glass of wine, the food, the scrolling, like that's the biggest one for all of you. Oh shit. One sec, someone's mic's just unmuted. That's the biggest one for all of you girls. Oh fuck. I'm gonna go on the membership chat in a minute as well. The biggest one for all of you that I feel for everyone I speak to is the phones. The scrolling, the consuming. It's an addiction. That's where you get your dopamine from. Because how many of you want to go to bed tonight after this and read a book that I recommend that is going to completely change your money mindset? I've just read it and it's absolutely incredible. It's very feminine. It's not a money book's very masculine. I'm not about it anymore. This one's very feminine. But how many of you would go and get in bed and read a book and put the phone away? Or if you say yeah, is that consistent? Is that what you do all the time? Because how much more dopamine do you get by scrolling on Instagram and even like messaging that lad that you're seeing? So this is about you hack this reward system so that your dopamine works for you for the life that you want. The next one, the limbic system. So this is your emotional centers of the brain, the amygdala. Everybody knows the amygdala. This is your fear, your anxiety, your emotional memory storage. So most emotional memories are stored subconsciously. This influences behaviour without any awareness. So regulating your limbic system and hack your memory centres is key. It really is for elevating your frequency, because this is where you get to calm the amygdala. So this is your meditation, this is your rituals, this is your nature, this is you getting yourself out of your environment, clearing your space. Like, go and sort your bedroom out. Go and get rid of the shit that you don't need. Have a good clear out. Like, this is about you feeling like, you know what's coming through for me now, girls? Like, less chaotic. Like, get rid of the chaos. And then the reticular activating system. Everyone knows about this. I done a session about it in the 8-week container as well last week. So this is the brain's sensory filter. This decides what information reaches your conscious mind, directly tied to focus, attention and selective perception. So this is why it's scientifically true that what you focus on expands. So the hack is to prime your brain to tell your RAS what you want to focus on. And then the prefrontal cortex. So this is the decision making, the reasoning, the goal setting, the problem solving. It helps interpret sensory data, creating meaning and forms beliefs about your reality. So for example, when you set an intention, your prefrontal cortex directs focus, helping your brain filter reality that's in alignment with your goals. So it's a filter. So the conscious thought then helps shape how you experience reality, because it directs subconscious activity. So this is about knowing that you need to be conscious in order to direct the subconscious. Of course you do, because if you're living your life in default mode, what we talked about on the first one, then you're not aware. You're just on autopilot. There's no awareness, so you can't catch yourself in it. So affirmations, visualizations and mantras can only go so far if your nervous system is dysregulated, or if your brain's reward system is wired for negative patterns. I remember Right, listen to this. Funny story, this. Americans are funny, you know. So I used to do some collabs with, his name's Hakeem. On Instagram, I think some of you follow him, called Choose Yourself. So I used to do some sessions for him inside of his membership. And I was on one once, and somebody asked the question about a self-confidence, and she was just like, I've started this business and it's basically teaching like my knowledge and my wisdom and the journey that I've been on. So I know everything that I'm teaching because it's everything that I've done. However, I've got this block with social media. I don't like getting on camera. I don't like talking. I just don't want to put myself out there, but I want my business to be successful. So I've got an email list, and I've got a website, and I've got a strategy coach, and I'm doing all of the things, and I'm 2 years in. She was 2 years in, and she still had a side job because the business wasn't moving. So she was doing all of the strategy, and nothing was changing at all. And she just had this block with, it's that visibility wound, isn't it? What we're going to be going into throughout this 5 weeks, let me tell you. So she had this block around showing up and just putting herself out there, putting her work out there, blah, blah, blah. And I was on the camera with somebody else who asked, because they used to ask questions, like, so I'd just coach them through in lifetime sort of thing. But she'd written it in the chat box, but I was already coaching somebody else. So then another coach in there replied to it and was like, what you need to do is, you need to start doing mirror work. You need to start doing affirmations. And it was all dead positive that she written, and she written about the power of mantras and writing things down and blah, blah, blah. So then I read the question, but I didn't read what this coach had said to her. And I said, do you want to get on camera and I'll speak to you about it? So she did. And then when she got on camera, she was like, oh, I think, like, she written this, and she went through this coach's answer, and I was like, no, that isn't it. Like, I wouldn't give you that advice. That's not my advice. So then this coach, who clearly needed to heal, took offence to me. I was like, I've been teaching this for 16 years. I know this, I know that. And I was like, that's fine. Like, if you teach that and people pay you for that, amazing. I love that for you. But I don't believe that. I don't agree with the advice that you're giving her. It's not what I done. Didn't work for me. So I can only teach you from my perspective and what's worked for me. And it was a deeper issue. It was the inner child piece. She needed to go back to her inner child and figure out why she was scared of being seen, why she didn't want to talk, why she didn't want to show up. So what, you think that so me 6 years ago, who lived at my mum's house, who couldn't even make eye contact with people, who just got out of this horrible domestic violent relationship, who was riddled with anxiety and fear and couldn't speak to anyone, couldn't get on camera, couldn't do anything. You think that if I stood in a mirror and told myself, Catherine, you're amazing, I love you, you are so abundant, you are incredible, you are amazing at what you do, you deserve the world. You think if I was writing mantras and just visualising without going back and doing the inner work, that I would have changed my life? No. So that's why I've got this thing with affirmations and mantras and all of the outside work. You've got to be doing the inner work alongside it. Because, like I've written there, if your nervous system is dysregulated and you don't feel safe, if you don't feel safe getting on camera, if you don't feel safe showing up for your dreams, then it doesn't matter what affirmation you like. It felt like bullshit to myself. I used to do it. I used to stand in the mirror and do affirmations, and I'm like, this is bullshit. I didn't believe it. Didn't trust it. It was just words to me. There was no feeling. So it's quite funny actually, because there was all American in there, and I was like, why are you proper raising your voice? Like, it's okay that we coach differently, and it is. Not every coach is the same, and I can only ever teach all of you from what I've done. And even though I do love affirmations, and I do love visualization, and I fucking love a good mantra, the work is getting to the root of why you are the way that you are, so that you can create that safety from within. So you can literally regulate yourself in the moment. So true conscious manifestation requires understanding and rewiring the specific brain systems that are responsible for your habits, your emotions, your focus, why you are the way that you are. It's so much deeper. It's so much deeper. Changing your life, it's so much deeper than just affirmations, because you'll just go back. You'll just go. It might last. Like, it might last. She might have clients who were signing up with her for 3 months, and that's the work that they was doing, and it might have lasted those 3 months. But I want to know what happened after 3 years. I want to know what brand new internal system you created. I don't want to just know about your affirmations, and yeah, it just feels like a disconnect for me. It's deeper. So understanding these concepts is just the beginning. If you're serious about stepping into the life that you've been dreaming of, like I know that you are, because you're here, you wouldn't be here, especially when we got to this far, you would have turned it off by now, then you need a clear system, you need a roadmap, and you need the tools to actually integrate this into your life. And this is the piece. This is always the piece for me. It's the integration. It's not just doing these lives. It's integrating and embodying this work. That's what changed it for me. That's what made me different. Like, when I was reading back through my journals, I was like, I remember watching a certain podcast. Like, I was obsessed with Tony Robbins, and I would watch his stuff, and then I'd be like, right, I've learned that, because knowledge is amazing, but it's not your power. Knowledge isn't power. It's the embodiment of the knowledge. It's the implementation of that knowledge. That knowledge means fuck all. What's the point in it? Yeah, you know your shit, but what are you doing with it? Nothing's going to change. So it's the embodiment of the knowledge. So I used to like watch people like Tony Robbins, and then I'd be like, right, how can I embody this? How can I bring this into my daily life? Whatever it was that I learned, and it's always something new. It's like in the membership, every session you'll always learn something new. How are you embodying that and bringing it into your day-to-day life? That's where the changes happen. So, I've written here, week 2, we enter the identity shift. But before then, I just want you to get clear. Your self-concept becomes your identity. And this is what I want you to sit with this next week. It's how you see yourself. It's the set of beliefs that you hold about who you are, what you're capable of, and what you're worthy of. Your internal system needs to recognise your manifestations as a match to who you think that you are. Who do you think you are? I love that. Who do you think you are? I'm like, who do I think I am? Oh, sit down and I'll tell you. And what's possible and sustainable for you. Again, it's that piece of what can you hold. So this week, what I want you to sit with, what are you manifesting? What are you calling in? And get clear. And notice, right? Have the awareness this week. Let's use this week as awareness. Really notice and catch yourself when you're blocking yourself, when you're standing in your own way. So when you get that idea, you're on a nature walk and you get that idea, you're listening to a podcast, you're listening to something inside of my membership, you're doing some sort of self-development work, and you're like, oh, I want to do a video about this for my Instagram or for my YouTube or for my podcast channel or whatever network you use. Move with it and catch yourself. catch yourself in that moment of what comes up as to why you're not doing that. Because that is, right, your higher self. This is how I work. That's my higher self giving me the clues, giving me the breadcrumbs. Do this. Do this YouTube channel. Do this YouTube video. Do this 5-week container. In the moment, I decided an hour ago to do this live so that people who cannot afford to do the self-development work, or who can't go on the journey, or for whatever reason, wherever you are in your life, you could just see this video. I'm going to put it on my YouTube channel as well. And be like, wow, I really need to go on this journey. I need to do something with my life. I got that idea like an hour ago. And I moved with it. I didn't sit, I didn't question, I didn't this, I didn't that. Where are you blocking yourself? Where is that part of your brain stepping in where you need to step in, where you need the conscious awareness to be like, no, we're not doing that anymore. That's an old habit, that's an old identity, that's an old way of being. This is the loop that you're creating for your own life. You can't move in the video game because you're playing the same character. What does the version of you who already has everything that you want, how does she move? That's what I want to know. When I work with you girls, I'm like, how does she move? How does she think? How does she feel? How does she embody herself? How does she take up space in a room? How does she speak? How does she have the audacity to stand out, to speak up? Not follow the crowd, not be doing what everybody else is doing. Like, feel into her. And use this week as really embodying that version of you. That's what I used to do. I used to just play this game. I used to just pretend. I used to come out of what reality was telling me. And I was like, this isn't true. I'm not homeless with my 10-year-old kid. I'm not broke as fuck. I'm not living with me mum where we argue every day. This isn't my reality. I refuse to stay here. So I started to leave. And I started to create. And I started to really play with different habits and different rituals and different ways of being. Instead of living my life on autopilot, doing the same shit, doing what everyone else was doing. I didn't want to. And I really had the courage and the audacity to own that about myself. I really own that I'm here for more. I just don't think that I'm here to settle. I just can't play into it. I can't play into like this smallness and this doing what everyone else is doing and not standing out and not leaving the crowd and not going after it. Like, what you're scared of? Whose is that voice telling you that you can't? What's your upper limit? What's the block? It's what we're going into in these 5 weeks. We've got to go past these blocks. They're not even yours. They're not. Right, what time is it? 9:30 on the dot. How nice is that? Right, I really want to go through the chat. Whoa. There's so much in this chat. I'm starving. Oh my god, I'm so hungry. Right, let's start from the start. I'm feeling blocked still. Like I'm not quite sure where I am, who I am, and what I want. I feel a bit lost actually, but I know I'm here to help the world. But it's actually turning it into a business. That's the hardest part, like bringing it to life. So how do you feel now? Because you said that at the start of the live. How do you feel now? If you got a bit more clarity on that? I'm excited for these 5 weeks. I feel the same. That's me. I've done it all. I have actually embodied who I visioned myself to be, but not fully yet. Finished the transformation. That's so true, because when I was trying to edit a post on Instagram, I was actually getting stressed and uncomfortable. So that was my nervous system, because I was doing something uncomfortable. Yeah, this is it. And this is where I want you to be catching yourself this week, girls, in those moments. How can you release that pressure? How can you make it fun? So for me, when something's stressful, right, I fucking hate my accountant. I love her, she's amazing. But I hate her because it stresses me out having to send everything over, and the way it makes me body feel, and just everything about how much fucking tax I owe and all of it, it really dysregulates me. So I've been playing with it the last 3-4 weeks. And I'm like, right, how can I move this energy? How can I stop feeling like this when I'm doing something that I don't want to do? Because that isn't it. It's not about what you want. It's about what you need to do. I need to do that, else I'm going to block myself from bringing money in. So sometimes it's doing things that you don't want to do but you need to do in order for the next level. So it's like, I've only got a 6-figure business, and if I'm getting stressed doing my finances and doing my tax, then millionaire Catherine, she can't come in because you can't hold it. Your nervous system will go to shit. Imagine if I had £1 million company and I'm going to shit over 6 figures. Do you understand what I mean? So there's the upper limit. I've hit my cap. So I've been using prayer, massive for your money, massive strategy. I've been using prayer, and every time that I'm sending stuff to her or I need to go and see her, I'm making sure that I do a ritual, that I'm really centered and really anchored in, and environment is massive. So I don't just do it in here. I would never in my life just sit in here and do it. I'll go out in nature, I'll take my laptop out, I'll go to a nice coffee shop, I'll go in my meditation room and do a lot of my admin work in my meditation room, light me candles, incense, the music, make everything spiritual, and watch how easy everything becomes. It's worked for me. The last few weeks I've been like, I'm just in a bit of a mad situation at the minute in my life, but you won't think it because I'm not even panicking. I'm just like, whatever God wants for me. But I've been using my tools and my rituals and regulating my own nervous system. So like food, what food are you eating? That's a big one. Like juice cleanse, get on the cacao, make sure that you're not like drinking alcohol. Like stuff that's going to lower your vibration. So it's not that you can avoid it. You're not avoiding it, you're facing it head on. But you're using your tools and your rituals to cope with it, to create a new way of being, so that your nervous system feels safe in it. Like, oh, it wasn't that bad. Like, yeah, I've just spent an hour and a half sending over all my invoices and all of this and all of that. Bit of a draining job, not my best job in the world, but it wasn't that bad. Like, I've just listened to a gorgeous playlist. I've just ate some beautiful food. I've just saged, and do you know what I mean? I've just finished an amazing book called The Neuroscience of Manifesting. It's amazing. Just learn parts of what you're talking about. Oh, that sounds interesting. I love a good little science book. Maybe put that in the group for us, please, Amanda. In the group chat. The Facebook, the WhatsApp group, please. This session has given me my decision to go for the risk and move. Thanks. It's been torturing my mind for weeks. You go, girl. That's it. Like, you've just got to move. When you're given that download, you've got to fucking move. We sit around for months. Look at me. Right. When I started this membership, I didn't have a clue. Didn't have a clue what I was doing, how to do it, how to do the lives, how to do the recordings, how to set up the portal. How do you create email lists and landing pages? I just learned as I went along. I was already making money from the membership before I even knew what I was going to do on the live. How to even get on the live. Because that's God's job. And he just works it out, and he just shows you the way, and you just learn. And you figure it out as you go. But you've got to be willing to take that action, to make that move. I feel like a lot of the questions that I need to ask myself tomorrow that I've written down, yeah. That's it. Like, allow yourself to ask the deeper questions. You know what, right? They're the two sayings that I love, right? I've written these down in my journal that when I was reading my journals. So it was that one about your dreams don't work unless you do. And then another one was how important the quality of your questions are. Like, I've always been someone to ask good questions. So when I'm doing these calls, or I'm working with coaches, or I'm doing the inner work, I don't ask just generic questions. I ask the deeper questions, the next level questions. So really allow yourself to deepen your questions. Ask questions that you think, I have no idea how I'm going to access the answer to that. That's not your job to figure out the how. Ask the question. No one's asking. None of us even ask. I've always wanted to be a public speaker for events. Now I've been asked to attend and speak in front of 60 women. Woo! And I'm getting nervous. Oh my god, fam, I'm so excited for you. Not prepared and feeling of just going with it. Because I know I won't stick to what I plan anyway. Is this wise? Absolutely. That is how the Holy Spirit works through you. Like, do not go. This is my thing, right, with ChatGPT, right? And I believe that it was created to block everyone who's not real and not authentic. Because when you chat GPT all your shit, all your courses, like these mentors who are doing it now, and even like my brother was telling me the other day, he's just got back from India, he was telling me that on the course he had to do, he'd done a 200-hour yoga course, and they had to do their own class as part of the qualification, and they was allowed to do it, like, but there was chat GPT in it. So then there's no presence, there's no nothingness, there's no unknown, there's no room. There's no room for you to allow the divine to work through you. And I learned that very early on in my career as a motivational speaker, as doing these sessions, as someone who's always done this work, because even in aesthetics, I used to teach this. I've always taught personal development from day one in aesthetics. I've written a book 6 months into my business around nothing to do with aesthetics, around mindset. So I've always felt into it, because every time that I've tried to have it figured out and I've tried to be this and be that, it's never worked out for me. I'm blocked. So just allow yourself to be in the moment and just speak from your heart. That's what you're there for. That's why she asked you to do it. And you are so natural at that. Like, you've already got that in you. You'll absolutely smash it. I can't wait to hear all about it. Fab's me one-to-one client, by the way, so I already know about all of this. I didn't know it was for 60 women, though. I thought it was a little circle of yous. Oh my god, I'm so excited for you. What date is it? We need a call. Let's get a call in before this. And we'll go into it more. We are due a call anyway, actually. Yeah, because passive waiting doesn't work, yeah? Well, I'm always like, when I start waiting around for stuff, I'm like, what are you waiting for? What are you scared of? Why are you holding back? Just go. And then it just figures it out. It always just figures itself out once you decide to move, but you've got to decide to move. Right, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to stop this live now. I'm so sorry to anyone that was writing comments and I've missed them. But I wasn't really meant to be going live for all of you. But if you want to come and do the next 5 weeks with us, the rest of the programme, then you can sign up. I'll put the link in the comments, actually. Click the link, sign up, and it doesn't matter when you join because everything's recorded. So say if you see this when we're in week 3, it's fine. You can still go back and do week 1 and week 2. And I've created it so it's like a self-study. So anyone who can't make the lives, you're going to be able to just go through it as and when you want. Right, let me stop this now.